Okay, so these are the commands, but we cannot run it inside straight away. We need to be in the initial state of node package manager, like npm init minus. Okay, so what this does, it's created a file that name package.json, एंड इस फाइल के अंदर हमारे पास है नेम, वर्जन, डिस्क्रिप्शन, मेन मीन्स ये कौन सी फाइल पिकअप करेगा। index.js फाइल अभी प्रेजेंट नहीं है, हम अभी क्रिएट करेंगे। स्क्रिप्ट, कीवर्ड और लाइसेंस। Okay, now we will do one thing. We will run this command npm install tailwind css. Let's see if it's work. देखते हैं काम करती है या नहीं। Oh my god, error not found. tail, oh my god, मैंने स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक कर दी। Now okay, it's working, it's installing something. What it does, it install a package for us, node module package ये माइनस लॉक, जिसमें हमारा वर्जन एक हो चुका है लॉक, और ये पैकेज डॉट जेसन फाइल जो हमारी पहले ही थी, इसमें इनने कुछ चेंज किए हैं क्या? लेट्स सी। yes, we have tailwind as a dependency for this project here, right here. और तो कुछ मुझे चेंज नहीं दिख रहा है ऊपर वाले कोड से। नो, so we have a tailwind as a dependency, but we also need two more things. As we discussed, tailwind is a framework, or you can say as a plugin, might be easier to understand, of post css. मतलब कि पोस्ट css से tailwind बना है, ठीक है। तो पोस्ट css हमें इस प्रोजेक्ट के लिए चाहिए। अगर हम tailwind यूज़ कर रहे हैं तो हमें वो भी इंस्टॉल कर लेना चाहिए साथ में। तो npm install post css और पोस्ट css CLI क्या होता है? कमांड लाइन टूल, सो जो कि हम यहाँ पे यूज़ कर सकें। अब ये पोस्ट css भी हमारे लिए इंस्टॉल कर देगा और पैकेज डॉट जेसन के अंदर डाल देगा, जैसे कि हम फिर से देख सकते हैं। oh my sorry, spelling mistakes. These spelling mistakes make you remember that the command is cat and previous one was tailwind. The correct spelling of tailwind is tailwind css. सो tailwind और css हमने इंस्टॉल किया। पहले हमारी डिपेंडेंसी जो आई थी वो आई थी tailwind css। अब हमने एक और डिपेंडेंसी इंस्टॉल करी पोस्ट css, क्योंकि tailwind css पोस्ट css से बना है। सो बिकॉज पोस्ट css इज़ future based framework and tailwind is developed from post css, so that's why we need it, and now it's included in our dependencies. And now we need one more thing. That thing is auto prefixer. It's like it's fixes something if it's not there. Even I don't know what actually it does, how it's work, but it's good. It's another library. You can search it on Google if you want to dive deeper. How many time I do spelling mistakes, but it's better. So it's added in the package. Let's check it. Yeah, it's there. Now let's create a file, and that file is named as post css config file. Why are we doing so is, let me tell you after some time. Give me 1 minute. This is a blank file, and let also initialize tailwind for this project as we have installed it. Okay, now I hope you are familiar with these commands. These are a bit different. npx, it's not npm, it's used for to initialize tailwind. Okay, so npx tailwind init. Now we have a different file structure. You can easily see like tailwind.config.js, and we can see what's in this file. It's blank and we are not going to use it right now. We are going to use it if we want to add some themes, font and other things, which we are going to do later on or in other things, but right now I'm going to leave it as it is. And we are going to create a css file somewhere in our project directory. Like, let's see how our project directory looked like. It has node package, and so we create and project directory named app. Okay, and let's go create style sheet inside it. And now you can see these codes on the left side of the screen. @tailwind base, @tailwind component, @tailwind utilities. tailwind base जो हमारे पास है वो इसके बेसिक्स एक स्ट्रक्चर है वो इंस्टॉल कर देगा. कंपोनेंट्स अलग अलग कंपोनेंट के बेसिस पे इंस्टॉल करेगा. मैं आपको दिखा दूंगा कि कंपोनेंट्स के अंदर क्या क्या मिलता है हमें, यूटिलिटीज़ के अंदर क्या मिलता है और बेस के अंदर क्या मिलता है. So these are the basics we want to install for our projects, and which even tailwind suggests us to do. So open this file, vim app stylesheet.css. Oh my god, I made a mistake. It's a directory, it's not a file. So let's go inside app. Directory should not be named by like this. Let's remove it. What's the command for removing this? rm stylesheet.css, but I know it's not work because it's a directory. If it's a directory, what you need to do is rm minus r. Now it's work. Okay, so let's create a directory, style sheet, and let's create a file inside this directory. Style sheet dot let's say tailwind dot css. Okay, let's get back to where we came from. Now we have an app, and inside our app we have a directory named style sheet, and inside that we have a file tailwind.css. That file is empty. So what do we need to do is we need to add these things there. This is a Vim editor. Inside Vim, if you want to edit anything, we start with insert command like I, or if we want to append anything, we will write A. So I start with I. Now we can start typing @tailwind base @tailwind components @tailwind. Don't fear if other two are not colorful or not, you are not seeing color in your terminal, because I have set up for this terminal right now. I have installed Oh My Jash as a default framework and one theme that's helped me to remember my code. So let's save this file, and now we need to go inside our package .json. Inside this we are only going to change this. We are just testing, so we do not need anything. Okay, let's insert my own thing. I'm going to use post CSS to create tailwind structure. Post CSS, and another thing what we want is we want to give the path of the directory where this file is. It's like app, and inside app style sheet, and inside that tailwind.css minus O for organizing. Now we need a place where we want to place our created CSS structures. Okay, so where should we use it? It's like I will go for the same app, and inside this I will use a term view and CSS. I know these directories are not there, and we are going to create it before running this command, before running this test. And inside this test I will create the same file. I will create the file with the same name, tailwind.css. okay, now we are going to save it, like escape double colon and WQ is for save. We saved our package. And one thing is important to note, that we haven't used our post CSS yet. So what we need to do inside our post CSS config file is, we need to add some code. But before that I will create the directory, otherwise I will forget where I need to place my code. So mkdir app, and what was that? It's like view, YIW view, and inside that CSS. Okay, not working. It will create one at a time. Okay, so let's move inside post css.config now. It's a blank file that we created, and they doesn't mention it. Change it. Okay, they mentioned it. Why do we create and change this file? Is because we are using post CSS command inside our file, inside our np node file. So we need to change these things. It's like mentioning that we are using these libraries inside our project. So let's get inside. Let's see if we can copy paste it. It's an easy way and quick way. Yeah, it's work. Let's save it. We are not mentioning that we are require post CSS because we are already inside post CSS. It's common sense, I think. Yeah, we mentioned that in package.json. So now what we do is run our command. I think we are ready to go. Okay, how to run? npm run and test. We have our code inside the test. No, we have our command inside the test. So if we can do test, or we can directly run our command like post css, then mention the file name. But we are not doing that, because if we want to modify or we want to rebuild our file, so that should be an automated process. So it's just npm run test. Oh my god, we got an error. Which is it? Post css. This is probably not a problem with npm. Yes, I know, and I might have done some spelling mistakes. Style post css app style sheet. See, I put 3e. That's how we easily recognize errors to watch our terminal output. So vim and not post css, it's package. If we want to only delete one e, we can just type x, it will delete any tyle sheet. Okay, tailwind css. Now save it. npm run test. Oh, it's a risk, it's showing risk because tailwind is going to update soon, but we are just testing it. Update with the better features. It's not going to affect our this project right now, though, so ignore it. Let's check our project directory right now, what it is. We have what inside our app. We have a style sheet and view, and we created a view. What do we have? css. Let's see, tailwind css, and let's okay, let's open it inside our vim. So it's created this beautiful style sheet, default style sheet for our system that have classes. These are not the classes, body is our default for HTML structure. Classes starts with the dot. Okay, you can navigate through this file and see text area, overflow, auto. These are our css structure, but we do not care about it now because we have an easy system of tailwind css. Let's get out of this file without saving anything. For that we need to do escape :q. Okay, and how do we check it if our project is working? So we need some file. We need a file inside our view. Where we are inside our view, let's create a file, index.html. Okay, and let's open it and create a basic HTML index structure, or I already have a good structure. Let me use that because that is a good one. Copy and let me paste this here. Oh my god, what the hell? Let's open this project in vim. Oh sorry, Visual Studio Code, which we were talking about before. I think now it's the time to use VS Code. I have already copied this. I just need this file, nothing else. And open editor, we want to open our file, project file. Open, and what we are going to open is project 1, and then open. It's simple. We can see same thing in a very beautiful way. uh, I have installed post css plugin, tailwind libraries inside this vim editor, so that's why it's recognizing every file. It's become very easy for us to follow this step, and I'm going to tell you about this first. Index.js, what is this? This is index.js is, we doesn't have it here, but it's inside this node module. Let's find it. No, I want to find it inside this. No. Yeah, it's inside. So it's a great thing. I instantly hit in the mind. Sorry. अचानक से मुझे एक ख्याल आया कि मैं आपको यहाँ पे एक बहुत ही अच्छी चीज़ दिखा सकता हूँ. आई कैन शो यू समथिंग वेरी ब्यूटिफुल. इट्स tailwind css. Wow, what actually it's look like. We have base css that we installed. This is the structure of base css. We have component css. This is the structure of components. Basically it's media. So I think components is for managing libraries, because media file it's for like different screen size. Tailwind css that we already seen. And what is inside utilities? It's template. Okay, utilities are color. Okay, it's a like it's make our templates good and easy to use. So components are for screen sizes. Now we know what it is. And we were looking for index. Which index file? Post css. Where is our post css, and where is our index? It must be something around here. Yeah, I think this file. Okay, let's not look at this, but it's mentioning index file, which was not this. I think this is something inside this file. We will go it inside later, but first have a look at our index.html. Let's paste this file. By the way, we can also open terminal inside our inside our Visual Studio Editor by here, new terminal, or shortcut is also available there. It's showing after this Control Shift and backtick. Okay, so we are in the terminal. Now how do we run our